What's up, guys? It's your boy Kittens coming back to you guys with another video. And this one I want to talk about a super old deck build I did. I don't know if it's super relevant anymore because it's not really available in standard anymore. But back in the day, I built the strongest Ugin deck that was available in standard. Specifically, I did the Simic version. And the interesting thing is I had a bunch of different mirror matches and stuff when I did the deck profile and this, that, and the other. And the interesting thing for my build is I was running Cavalier of Thorns over Nissa. And for a lot of people, this is an interesting decision. A lot of people are going to be sitting there going like, yo, like, there's no way you're not going to be playing Nissa, right? Well, the thing is, if you play Cavalier first and then they go respond Nissa, plus into a land, in that situations, there's a lot of times where that's just straight up an auto loss. Because you go Cavalier, find a land, whatever, they go Nissa +1 into a 3, you can then go play Ugin, blow up your land, and then attack your Nissa. Like, that is just like a blowout that like people just could not recover from. Like most times it's just straight up an auto loss if you play Cavalier and then they play Nissa after. Now like the other side of that is like that you say they go Nissa, plus into a land, you go Cavalier, and then they have an untapped turn with Nissa, they can then go Ugin. Well, they can -5 to get rid of your Cavalier, but then they also get rid of their Nissa, and they're left with some lands they can swing in for 6. That's a pretty good position. But to be fair, they have to get rid of their Nissa to get rid of your Cavalier. And that's the only way they can actually get rid of it or attack through it. So it's very interesting, like just that little in-between. And for me as a person, I really credit the Cavalier of Thorns inclusion versus the Nissa as the thing that the niche, the cliche that made my deck build superior in almost every single. It was really interesting. When I was watching the mirror match go, I was sitting there going like, guys, Magic community, why are you putting Nissa in here? Like, put Cavalier. It's clearly better. Like, it works, in sequence for like what's on the board and like per turn. And I don't know. It was one of those things where like I didn't have a big enough voice to really show those things. And I don't know. It's one of the, I think about that a little bit because I do the Apex stuff and I make the best Apex clips in the world. I don't make the best, Magic stuff in the world, but I'm extremely talented deck builder. So, it's like one of those other things that I think of. Like I got Oro bands, the same deck got Goldspan Dragon errated. I'm not so sure about the errata because at the same time there was like a blanket errata of like a bunch of stuff. So it's like sure, Goldspan Dragon was in the same deck. They got Oro banned across like 4 separate formats, but that was just like that was a moment. That was like my brainchild. That was my baby. Like, it wasn't even done. Like, straight up. And then 2 separate cards get like, just straight like, doo. Like, Wizards is like, this isn't allowed. To be fair though, the Golden Genesis deck was, it was a consistent, in standard, it was consistent turn 4 win every single time, even if your opponent had like removal and things to do. And then there very often you would win on turn 3 playing your entire library. Like, just straight up play your entire library on turn 3 in standard. Like, like in modern, I started testing on it. It was a consistent turn 3 to sometimes turn 2. Vintage Legacy, it's like a 1 to 2, which is fine. But like in modern, like in modern, that competes with a lot of like mainstay modern decks. Like, and I didn't even get to like edit it and really mess with the numbers before stuff got banned. So it's just one of those things. Like I think about it a little bit. I would love to have more of a voice in the Magic the Gathering community when I make decks like that, so that's more known. If I make the best version of a deck and I'm just playing it straight up, beating the mirror match back to back to back to back, no one knows. It's just like, oh man, it's one of those things in life. I'm just thinking about it, but I don't know. I want to bring up some of those cool things that I've done in the Magic the Gathering community and talk about it a little bit, even if it's a little bit irrelevant, because like Ugin's not in standard anymore. Yeah, so it's been your boy Kittens. Peace.